to me nice when you see me. I know they gon' hate cause they know they can't beat me. We put our op on the TV, this chopper gon' clip him, we can't keep it PG. Bitch, talk to me nice when you see.
Alright, so we're back on that Xenoverse 3 video, brain. Today, my boy Rhymestyle has addressed the criticism of Xenoverse 3, bro. I'm not gonna waste y'all time, bro. Y'all pretty much got my take on it. Y'all got C Reaction's take on it. I got my take reacting to C Reaction's take on it. Let's see what Rhymestyle got to say, bro. If y'all enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Let's see what my boy had to say, bro. Let's lock in on it real quick.
I feel like whenever I start a video like this, I feel like a newscaster talking about, you know, whatever news. Breaking news, Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 3, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, today I want to do a video where we're diving into what some of the community concerns are with Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 3. You know, I'm gonna say right now before we start, we don't know anything. Until we see more, I don't want to harshly judge or assume anything, because for all you know, this is going to be a lot better than Xenoverse 2. It might be worse. It might be a lot worse. It might be a lot better. So until we see actual, like, PvP, specifically PvP gameplay, which is going to be, you know, the main core of the game, I don't want to fully, like, you know, hop in like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. But what I want to hear from you guys is anything you guys want to say about Xenoverse, any concerns, anything you might have noticed, feel free to drop in this video. But the main reason I want to do this video is because there's also a lot of misinformation that's kind of going out there. I mean, when they revealed the initial trailer, people were talking about how they took away custom characters. People are talking about how there's no cast characters in the game. And I'm like, where are we getting this from? Let's just talk about that. So first things first, like I said, I posted a community post on my YouTube.
Move my face so I won't be on top of his face. Let's go over here, bro. Let's go over here.
We're going to kind of just go down and see what people are saying. And again, you guys want to chime in, by all means, do so in the comments of this video. So, there's some Battle Z DNA present that I'm not fond of. I don't think I agree with this. If anything, Xenoverse took from the Battle of Z formula.
Yeah, I've been saying this shit is not Battle of Z, bro. This shit is... Y'all just saying shit, bro. Yeah, y'all just be saying shit, bro.
You know, with like the co-op play, but I don't... If you see this comment, Neon Lights, I need you to defend this, I guess. Like, why does it look like Battle Z? Maybe something I'm missing. The combos, not impressed yet. The movement, a little, and the HUD. I will say this. The person that played that initial gameplay did not do any justice to that game. Now, there's a lot of people that think that Xenoverse 1...
Yeah, I said that. Like, bro, he didn't do any... He or she didn't do any justice to the game, but the devs usually don't. They not sweats at the game for real. They just gonna show you what the attacks look like and what they do. They're not gonna fully utilize them. So we can't formulate a full opinion on that, bro. That's what I've been trying to say. And it sounds like he's gonna say the exact same thing.
Well, let's say Xenoverse 2 from here on out. Xenoverse 1 had a lot of flaws. There's a lot of people that think Xenoverse 2 was pretty much limited with what you can do. There was a lot of depth to Xenoverse. A lot of little movement things you can do. A lot of different like combo cancels. A lot. There was some depth for an RPG fighter. There was a lot of depth involved. You could not tell. You could not tell from any of the gameplay that was shown that any of that was possible, because again, you could tell that the person who picked up that game for the first time, it felt like they played for the first time. They were dropping combos. I'm like, bro, come on, come on, get someone better to play the game. This is one of those things where I do agree it looked buns, but I want to play for myself. I want to see more of the veterans play it as well, and then it'll be a much better way to explain it. There was some cool things we didn't notice, like you saw the burst dash, you can cancel out of it. They definitely added more cancels in the game, which is dope. I'm pretty sure they did it by accident. But again, I want to play it myself. Once I have the game in my hand and the controller and like do the move myself, I'll be able to have a much better opinion on that. But I will say that gameplay did look rough. It looked pretty rough. It was exciting to see Xenoverse finally in gameplay. It was hype, but it had its flaws. The HUD. You know what I'm excited about? Crossplay was announced. Well, they announced it as a goal, which doesn't mean that we'll have it outright day one, but I hope we do. And the beauty of having that on having crossplay in a game like this is we're getting this on PC. You get it on PC, you can get mods that remove the HUD. Now, the HUD did look ass. I do think that they probably had that just for a purpose.
The HUD is most definitely trash. But the fact that we got to resort to people modding, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's kind of ass. People are already asking for mods and the game's not even out yet. Let's just see if we can customize the HUD, take a few of them shits off, you know what I'm saying? Take what we want off, put what we want on, so on and so forth.
This is the demo. If not, I hope we can remove some of that in the base game once we get it at launch. But if not, I'm getting this on PC, and the first mod I'm downloading is remove the HUD. Just give me the basics, actually, in my health, and that's it. I guess the stamina bar too, which I'm not a fan of the stamina bar popping up as you fight. I don't know why they would just remove it from the bar at the top. Just like put them next to each other. But again, the beauty is maybe modders can remove the little bar that pops up as well. And that way I can just look up and see two things: my health bar and my stamina. That's it. That's all I need to see. I would like to start off with key dash and dragon dash is not as quick as Xenoverse 2. I don't think I noticed this. Again, if I play it myself, I can probably like, it's kind of like riding a bike where like you feel it. It's like muscle memory. So if I seen it, it didn't seem slower for me. But again, if I play myself, I'll be able to have a better opinion on that. Transformation better not have a timer. That'll be disappointing. 1,000,000% do agree with this. The reason why this is a thing that's brought up is because we saw the soul change thing, which we'll talk about here in a second as well. Soul change showed that they had like a 40-second timer when they turned to Trunks. We do not. I don't think there's a single person out here that will disagree with this. And if you disagree, let me know why. I don't think a single person wants to transform into Super Saiyan, Golden Frieza, Rose, Super Saiyan 3, whatever transformation, you know, insert your favorite transformation here. And we do not want to see a timer pop up. The only way I would...
Yeah, nobody wants to see that shit, bro. Like, once again, I'm sorry for pausing the video so much. The only way that I would be okay, and like, it's still not better than having the transformation be basically infinite, but the only way that I'd be cool with transformation having a timer is if we can possibly upgrade the timer. Like, as we level up, as we go from level fucking 20 to get an awoken skill, and we transform again at level 40, it's an extended timer, if that makes sense. If it just naturally goes up in time, or we can upgrade the timer, that'll be cool. It'll be sort of like mastering the form, if that makes sense. I'd be cool with that. That make it passable for me, but it wouldn't be like, oh, that's better than... No, I'd rather it be permanent, but if it's gonna have a timer, I prefer if they work it out that way.
When I see myself de-transform is if I get my ass beat, my stamina hits 0, and I de-transform. Because they've done that in a lot of Dragon Ball games in the past. That's the only way I will accept a quote-unquote timer. But I don't want to see an actual literal physical timer next to my Super Saiyan icon that says, you have 30 seconds. Get that shit out of here. So we'll have a more on this. I don't think that would do that because that's really going backwards on it. I think the only reason why Soul Change has one is because it's more of a comeback mechanic from my initial analysis. So now, like, if you're about to die, you can Soul Change, you get your health back, you get a bit of a buff. Which now the question is what does that mean for Super Saiyan? Like,
I seriously didn't even notice that the motherfucker got health back. That's another reason for people to support Soul Change, bro, because you don't have to use it, but it does serve a good benefit.
Is it better to transform into Goku than going Super Saiyan? I mean, we'll see. Who's been tied down to cooldowns don't bother me too much. I played a lot of God of War and Ragnarok and Spider-Man. Honestly, I don't mind this as much. I saw some people were saying that key charge is gone now. It's like, how do you have Dragon Ball without charging key? Charging key is in there. It's in the literal gameplay. Which I remember, I'll toss it up on the screen. The thing about having cooldowns is not the worst, but this is the theory that I have. I think the key attribute will still be in the game. When the character transformed into Trunks, which is supposed to be like a more powered up version of a fighter, every time they did a super attack, like burning attack, they had a much faster cooldown. So the theory that I have is you'll be able to actually put points into your key attribute, and based on how many points you have, cooldown is gonna be faster. So if you have, like, let's say level 1 on your key, maybe you might have a 5-second cooldown, 10-second cooldown on Kamehameha. But if you get to like level 99 or 100, whatever, you might have a 2-second cooldown. I think that's what they're probably going for in here. But again, that's just my theory. I don't know for sure. If that's the case, it might be a bit better, because then at that point, it does still make sense to put something in key, because I don't think they would outright remove key as an attribute. That doesn't make...
That's another thing. In Xenoverse 2, there was no reason for anyone to put points in key for real. Like, I never do that in any of my builds, unless it's like a subscriber build or something. I never put points in key in Xenoverse 2. There's no point. I'd rather do damage. There's no reason to do that.
Any sense, you know? But again, the only thing I can think about with the cooldowns is you're basically tackling the spam problem, which I wouldn't really call a problem, but the spamming that was available in Xenoverse. I'll have more of an opinion when I see how this works. I don't want to speculate too much, because, like, we don't know. And the last thing I want to do is just, like, you know, fuel more fear-mongering or misinformation that's going all over the place. It's like, just keep your mind open for what pops up online, on Twitter, on Reddit, everywhere, because we don't know anything. That gameplay did not show us anything at all. Honestly, when it showed sparking, it was Goku and Vegeta fighting right in the canyon. Even that showed us more of the game than, you know, what we got with this. I just
feel like it kind of showed us more, because Sparking Zero is kind of a simple game, so it wasn't really much to show, you know what I'm saying? A couple punches, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of super count, a little bit of vanishing, and super attacks, beam clashes, transformations. That's pretty much it. Xenoverse is kind of more complex than that, if that makes sense. There's more shit you can do in Xenoverse than in Sparking Zero.
I just don't think them showing off the gameplay of a parallel quest was a good idea for the first time view. Like, I get, like, you know, the best aspect of Xenoverse to some people was the co-op play, being able to do parallel quests or raids and stuff was a fun aspect. And I agree. I mean, with the idiots, with Dion and Dotto, we played a lot of raids that we had custom made, you know, for videos, because it's a lot of fun to do that. And I know a lot of people just want to have, you know, raid bosses and things like that. But I also don't agree that that was a good way to show this game off the first time. Because we're talking about the first impressions are everything, you know? So you show off slop, people are gonna be like, I'm out. They're never gonna come back. Like how do you follow it up?
They'll be back.
You gotta be careful, Bandai. You gotta make sure everything you show is a banger. I do not want a transformation to be on a full-time limit cooldown. So what I assume they're saying, I think what they're saying is they don't want the transformation to be locked when the battle starts. I mean, I get it. You're supposed to like fight and then transform, but I also like the freedom and just being able to go Super Saiyan right away if I want to, you know? I do agree with that. And also, again, no timer on that, man. Just don't give me a timer. I have to potentially see more races and, of course, stuff like Saiyan tails that are actually function as you expect. Concern-wise, for me, it's little things. I'm wondering if all hairstyles, for example, will have different Super Saiyan appearances. I know it's pretty unimportant thing, but it would add a lot of experience for me. Oh, and I hope we can still play as cast characters. The story's cool and all, but one of my favorite ways to play Xenoverse is Rain of Battles and the whole thing. And this whole your mentor takes over your body thing has me wondering. Yeah, again, I don't think they're just removing the cast outright. I saw some posts on Twitter that were like, I think they're gonna remove the cast character. Like, no! If they do that, that would literally be a nail in the coffin for the game. I will say, I don't think we're gonna get all 200-something characters like day one. You know, and what's kind of annoying is we just
so, like, of course you're gonna be able to play as like cast characters in PvP. I don't even like, of course there's no way they take that away. And in the story mode in Xenoverse games, you don't really play as cast characters anyway, so that's probably the only way you can play as them in story mode. But that's no different from anything else in the Xenoverse franchise, in my opinion. You only really played as like what, Bardock, I think, in Xenoverse 2, Future Super Saiyan Gohan. I mean Future Gohan. I don't know about Xenoverse 1. I didn't play much of that. That game was dog shit.
just played Xenoverse 2 for the past decade, and we bought a lot of characters. We bought a lot of DLC characters. Xenoverse is gonna be the most expensive Dragon Ball game of all time, not counting gachas. And the worst thing they can do is make us buy all those characters again. Like, I get some characters they can focus on and really put love in, like maybe like superhero characters and things like that. But do not, for the love of God, make me have to rebuy characters like Vados, Champa, Frost, you know, like the side characters that are important to the story, but like, I'm not paying for that again, bro. We'll see what happens as far as the launch, because they are rebuilding a lot of characters. And I will say this, the models look incredible. They look a lot better than they did, like miles ahead of Xenoverse 2. But that's not enough of a reason for me to want to rebuy all those characters again.
Somebody told me that like the graphics don't look that much improved from Xenoverse 2, bro. That shit blew my fucking mind, bro.
I wonder how they're gonna balance that out. Again, I don't think we're gonna get 200-something characters at launch, but you know, as long as we don't get like 50. If we get 50 characters at launch, then it's like, all right, dog, come on, bro. We know what you're doing. If you drop like, you know, a majority of what we saw in Xenoverse 2, and then you work on DLC, sure, like it's more acceptable. I hate that that's modern gaming, but at the end of the day, that is modern gaming. My main concern is the HUD being way too cluttered. I don't like how they basically made stamina like a stun meter in Kakarot, and just hitting the enemy with attack, taking the stamina away. Yeah, this is something that's also a concern for me. I mean, for stars, the HUD, like I said, like I already discussed. They are definitely going for a different play style, you know, because in Xenoverse 2, if you guys didn't play, which I'm sure a lot of you did, but in case you did, in case this is the first time you were tuning in Xenoverse, the whole goal was to get your opponents to drop below 2 staminas. At that point, you do a combo, do a stamina break combo, you do an ultimate, you win. That was how the whole gameplay loop basically was. You're just dancing around, you know, infinite vanishes, boxing. The first person gets tired, they lose. Here, now it seems like I don't think we have like the same play loop, or you know, like I mean, you probably have a stamina break combo, because they did mention that some moves they specifically drain stamina. You have stuff that is unblockable. You have stuff like, you know, guard piercing, I guess, more damage, things like that. But I wonder how that's gonna work in PvP. That is also a big concern for me. That and also how the online is gonna work in general. I mean, that's the big one. If this game ends up dropping and they have as much desyncs as Xenoverse 2 has, like I've mentioned in past videos, it is a wrap for this game. Cool thing is, because
I mean, of course, that's just fucking terrible, bro. Xenoverse 2 is terrible with some of that shit, bro. Like, awful.
We have other things we want to do, but I feel like that's just gonna be a big problem, because Xenoverse 2, even though it was around for 10 years plus, the online was some buns. It was one of the worst onlines I've ever seen in an anime game, which says a lot. Again, for this one, I don't have an opinion. I'm concerned, but like, I'm also open-minded. If this ends up working better for the combat, then I'm here for it. You know, if this ends up being way more fun, I'm here for it. But again, this is a big concern because if you just play Xenoverse 2 for 10 years and now the gameplay loop is completely different in PvP, it's a valid thing to like think about. It's probably too early to think about, but I'm really hoping all the main modes come back, all clothes being colorable, like in the festival stuff, custom mentors. Yeah, I mean, for a game that's been in development for like 7 years, 8 years, however long it's been, they do need to bring back a lot. How long was Xenoverse or not Xenoverse?
I'm not gonna lie, I know the customization of the game is gonna go crazy. Like the drip, it's gonna be insane. I'm just hoping that we can change like the colorways of the shit. I know the actual outfits are gonna be peak, but I'm hoping that we can change the colorways to how we want them. That shit'll be beyond peak, bro.
There's a Sparking Zero in Dev 4. I want to say like what, 6 years, something like that. This is already past that. And rumors say that they restarted the game a couple years ago as well. So yeah, I do want to see a lot come back. You know, I do want to see raids, crystal raids, you know, PQs and stuff like that, and then the original story and stuff like that. But again, my biggest concern is always gonna be online because that's like the big loop at the end of the day. You know, will there be lag? I mean, there's gonna be lag obviously, but will there be desyncs? You know, that's the first thing I look for when I play this game online for the very first time as soon as I can at some point in the next year or so. Now, everything that looks good is the Xenoverse type feel in combat, animation look insane, peak mouse, all hair spiking up. Hair spiking up is crazy. The fact that that's like something we're excited about, it just shows you how much we were like actually starved in Xenoverse. I think this game should be called Xenoverse. It should be a new series. They just want to profit off the name. See, I don't agree with this. I respect the opinion, but I don't.
That's a dog shit take. I'm sorry. I don't respect that opinion. Well, I mean, I have to respect it. It's your opinion, bro. But that's just a dog shit take, bro.
I don't agree with this. When they did that, that was Open Tenkaichi for sure. Open Tenkaichi, they dropped it, make you think it was Tenkaichi. That shit was not Tenkaichi. This is Xenoverse. There's a lot of Xenoverse in what I saw in that initial gameplay. But to say it's not, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Be interested to see your thoughts. My only input, negative related perhaps, is the transforming into other people thing. Yeah, I don't like it either. Yeah, I mean, again, my theory is I think the whole point of Soul Change is to have something for a character that can't transform. I do think it might be hype, you know, to have like a comeback mechanic. This is basically the version of Xenoverse is how I'm perceiving it. But what I don't like is how it looks. Again, you could have easily made an attack system instead of me pulling out and going, the power of friendship combined, I'm Goku. I'm like, bro, like, I know that shit's not tough. It's not. But like, let's say I pressed the Goku button and then Goku like flew in or something like that and swapped places with me. That would look fine. It's just been a tag system, if anything. The soul change thing, I don't know if I'm like... But again, it might be tied to the story where it'll make more sense, but even then, it's like, I'm not using that. That transformation slot is always going to be for a transformation and nothing else. As long as the working skills and transformation and CQC ain't boofed, I'm absolutely I'm absolutely open for the new changes. And I agree. I mean, again, change can be good. If you do it right, it can be good. If you do it wrong, it's like, oof, you gambled and you lost. But again, I don't want to speak on this until I play it myself. It's like, again, anybody that's concerned, you are 100% valid, because I definitely saw a lot in that gameplay too, especially afterwards. You know, when new gameplay comes out, you're always excited. You're like, oh my god, new Dragon Ball game, this is happening. But then it's like days later is when you should really react, and you come back, you're like, oh, ooh. And that's how I am right now. It's like that gameplay was not a first good impression of the game. And I think the entire goal was like, hey, this is Xenoverse 3. They know what our game is. You know, we can show them this. Like, no, you should show something hype, man. At least get someone to play the game correctly. Like, at least if the person who was piloting the custom character made some cool combos and stuff, it'll look a lot better. But like, they were just mashing buttons and hoping for the best. The bad thing is how all the moves have a cooldown period. Energy Charge had a cooldown?
I mean, it's not burst charge, so you know what I'm saying? I don't see any problem with energy charge having a cooldown, right? Who's gonna spam their charge in the middle of a match anyway? You know what I'm saying?
I'll have to go back and look, and I'll probably toss up an edit that shows it. I did not notice energy charge has a that sounds stupid. I'm not against the cooldown for other stuff. And again, my theory, going back to what I said earlier, is I think the key attribute for your custom character will allow you to boost it and get better cooldown. I don't like energy charge having a cooldown, but at the same time, I also feel like you're not going to be spamming energy charge, so it's not that big of a deal. I mean, valid critique, valid concern. Yeah, I did not even realize the energy charge. I mean, there's a lot that I missed myself. I did not realize that energy charge had a cooldown as well. That just sounds wild to me. Interested to see if we still have two normal ultimates like Xeno 1 and Xeno 2. I think, and again, this is just me speculating, a game like Xenoverse wants to probably give us as much options as possible, which includes maybe having 2 soul assists, 2 ultimates, maybe even having a soul change and a transformation. I would be surprised if that entire L2 menu lets you fully customize what you want there. But I will say this, if it only allows one ultimate and then one like soul assist, I would not be a fan of that. I don't like that. Like, let me get the freedom. Cause like, even like with Vegeta popping it just feels kind of clunky. Again, I don't like the whole character spawns out of nowhere, shoots with you and then disappears. It looks kind of corny. If that's the case, I'm probably never gonna use the dual soul assist, whatever it's called, ever in the game. But yeah, we'll see about that. But I do feel like we should get the option to choose two ultimates if we want to. If that's the case, again, I'm never using soul change in that slot. It's gonna be always a transformation. And two, I'm never using soul assist. I'm always gonna be sticking to using two ultimates. Also very interested to see how much stat variety builds will have now that you can't invest in ki and stamina. Seems like easy setup. Again, I don't think they're taking this out.
So he said, I a little bit on this comment right here. He said something about everyone having maxed out damage and looking like Xeno 2 with every move being a nuke. You have defensive stats as well. So their nuke builds, if you have defense, they're not really going to nuke. You're going to be able to tank shit now. So the builder system is going to be a bit more complex than it was in Xenoverse. So I will say that.
I think you'll still be able to invest in stamina and ki. Maybe the more stamina points you have, the more, faster you charge and the more points you have for stamina. And for ki, I feel like ki is going to definitely have some kind of attribute where maybe like the higher your ki, the lower your cooldowns are. I think they're probably doing something like that. Also, hot take, I love using cast characters more than CSC, so I hope that Element doesn't just nuke compared to Xeno 2. I don't think that, I feel like if they just took away the ability to play as cast characters or completely severely nerfed it, it would be such a stupid decision. Like come on, bro. Like Bandai, like I've seen you guys do some bad stuff in the past. Like, good lord, that'd be awful.
I think what this person was saying, like in Xenoverse 2, some of the cast characters are just not as good as the CACs. I think they were saying they don't want to see that big of a power discrepancy in Xenoverse 3, which I kind of agree with, bro. Because if you're on your CAC and somebody picks blue Vegeta, you're supposed to win that matchup, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? I think they're hoping to have that balanced a bit more.
I just think that the soul change aspect is just giving people more ways to play, especially if you didn't have a transformation. Maybe it's like, a comeback mechanic, as I mentioned. I bet you that's what they're going for. But again, I don't know myself, Hopefully I can play this game a lot sooner than later and then have some of the stuff put to rest. Even for myself, the concerns I have for myself, put to rest and then, be more excited for it. So yeah, we'll see. I assume it's gonna be a speculation style video. Biggest concern is definitely transformations and a timer. I agree. Don't give me a timer. That's like a huge worry right now, and I don't think anyone really wants it correct. If one person wants a timer and transformation, like the little physical timer that starts with like 40 seconds, 30 seconds, defend yourself here, because I don't see that as a cool thing. Again, if you transform down because your stamina hits 0, I get it, because that makes sense, but I don't want to see a clock next to my name. But charging being a skill with a cooldown definitely is another thing worth noting. Yeah, we already kind of discussed that. Eyes not changing with Super Saiyan was another good one I saw. Don't mind it for John's default eyes, but for eyes like the generic Calm eyes or Goku eyes not changing, more serious one has just been a complaint. You mean eyes now changing or not changing? Because they did change. I'm gonna assume this meant now changing, which, yeah, that is a good change. That and also hair spiking up, which again is...
Okay. Maybe he's gonna read the rest of the comment, but he's not talking like the eyes changing color. He's talking like the eyes going from basically docile to fucking like serious, like I'm a Super Saiyan now, bro. I'm pissed. Let's finish this shit. I think that's what this guy Shintab was talking about.
Crazy that's where the ball is. the bar is low. If the hair spikes up, we're excited. Again, Xenoverse 2 had a lot of complaints that they just chose to never address. But hopefully a lot of that is fixed and alleviated in 3. See, look, this is my problem with Xenoverse as a game. For the marketing perspective. Xenoverse was marketed to us as a game where you get to create yourself in the game. Why was that not the main core as the first gameplay, bro? Like, I get they want to show John and the Jane is what we call her, because those were designed by Trevor specifically, and I think that's hype. It's cool that he created original characters for the game. But at the same time, bro, Xenoverse was cool because we get to make ourselves. If it was up to me, the very first thing I would have shown is the character creation aspect. The play styles, the fight styles you can choose, stuff like that. You show that first, and then you can hop into Parallel Quest. The fact that they just chose John or Jane and hopped into a boof-ass Parallel Quest was it was so stupid, bro. Like, I just, like, a lot of questions were answered how the game plays, which I get. It did accomplish what it needed to accomplish, but like, it's just for a game like this, you don't start off with that. You don't start off with, the scraps, basically. You start off with the full course meal, bro. Show me the character creation. Show me how much is in there now, because like we just want to make our characters and hop in. And that, like, a lot of people are wondering how much customization is going to go into the game. Like, show that first. How are you just showing a tutorial quest, man? Yeah, customization, they got to absolutely nail this. They got to absolutely 1,000,000% improve from what we saw in Xenoverse 2. If customization is top notch, so many people will be happy. You know how many people stomached Ultimate Tenkaichi because you had cool custom creation?
That game was ass cheeks, by the way. Ultimate Tenkaichi was so trash, bro.
Character creation mode in it. Like, that game literally was 1,000,000,000% carried by that. Being able to create yourself. Everything else, some people ignored. So if this character creation ends up being that good, I feel like it's going to carry the game a lot. If worse comes to worse, then the game is not that great. Oh, this is a good one. Xenoverse 2 had many great quality of life updates in the first 2 years, and I'm terrified they'll reverse some. I do agree. I hope that we don't go backwards on some things. And I don't really want to fully dive into this, just in case, you know, this is just one of those fear-mongering things where it's like, the last thing you want to do is just assume that stuff will get reversed. So I want to definitely wait and see. This entire video is going to be summarized with, I want to wait and see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, like, you kind of have to, though, because what some of the criticism that it's getting, maybe they'll show it to you and put the criticism in the bed, and we didn't have to hate on it to begin with. By the way, I mean, y'all, that's kind of what he's saying, bruh. Like, just wait and see. If you have a reason to hate, then they're gonna show you more, bruh. They're gonna show you more, and actually, like, don't hate because you haven't saw something yet that you would like to see, because they may show it to you. But if they don't ever show it to you, or if you see, like, in the demo that they're gonna be playing that it's obviously not in the game or it obviously doesn't work how you'd want it to work, then say something. But just wait and see.
But I do agree, I don't want a lot of the QL stuff removed and reversed, if that makes sense. That would not be a good thing for the game. From a graphic standpoint, I think the game looks good. It's just a massive improvement from Xenoverse 1 and 2. Okay, so this is the one where I'm going to harsh disagree with. Now, let me not say harsh. Xenoverse 3 looks miles better than Xenoverse 1 and 2. I feel like we're all going to agree with that. The problem is, it does not look good compared to Fighters, which came out in 2017, you know, almost 10 years ago.
I'll disagree with Fighters. I don't even really, I don't think, like, I feel like Fighters has its own unique shtick. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like we can actually compare a Xenoverse game to Fighters. I don't know about that, bro.
10 years probably at the time the game comes out. It does not look like better than Sparking, and in some cases, it probably doesn't even look better than Kakarot. Not to knock Kakarot in any way. The point is over the course of the past decade, every new game that came out looks so much better than the next. So, from Battle of Z to Xenoverse 1 was a big improvement. From Xenoverse 1 to Xenoverse 2, another great improvement. And then we started getting the really, really good improvements. We got Fighters, and Fighters looks absolutely gorgeous. You know, Kakarot had some insane cutscenes.
Like, again, like, Fighters is unique. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's just the end-all, be-all of, like, that's just the greatest graphically gifted Dragon Ball game of all time. It has its own unique art style. And I do fuck with it, though. But I don't think I don't think anybody wanted that from a Xenoverse game, bruh. Like, I know that's not what he's saying, but I'm just saying, like, we don't really need to be comparing those, bro.
Sparking Zero dropped and was just like, this is a real game.
Sparking Zero is beautiful. Sparking Zero is cosmetically beautiful, by the way.
So then when you compare Xenoverse 3, not to knock it, but if you compare it to Fighters and Sparking, it's not up there. It looks better. Don't get me wrong. You know, Xenoverse 3 looked like the main cast was just oiled up, and then they got these like weird like models that look good in 2015, 2016. They just didn't age well. It improved on that. It just, I wish that they would have made it look a lot crispier, like how Fighters did, for example, and how, you know, Sparking did. And I feel like with it being limited to next gen, or I guess current gen, you know, PS5 and stuff like that, I feel like they could have done it. Some people do say it looks like a mobile game, which I don't agree with. I feel like that's just
dog shit take, by the way. Like what fucking games are y'all playing on mobile that looks that good, bro? Let me know so I can download the shit, so I can play it, bro, in my spare time.
I get what you're saying, but it's like, what kind of mobile game are you playing? But at the same time, I feel like it does not look anywhere nearly as good as Fighters did and Sparking did. So, I don't know. It's a massive improvement one, but it's like, when you compare it to the other ones, you're like, it's up there. When it comes to gameplay, a few aspects have me concerned. I don't know if changing skills from using key to being timer-based is a good idea. For the video showcase, I felt floaty. But maybe when you actually play in the game, they won't be noticeable. My biggest concern is the ability to transform into actual cast characters. It makes you worry that won't be a way to play as DB characters. Again, I don't think that's the case. If they end up removing main cast characters in any way, that would just be so bad for the game. It's like, what are we doing? If anything, Soul Change, all that tells me is more ways to play as a cast character. Not that we all will use it, but it's like, hey, it's an option, it's available. It's like, oh, you're tired of playing as your custom character, let's transform into Goku. I'm not a fan of how it looks. Again, I'm going back to it, I just wish that it was a tag system instead. If Goku tagged in, hopped in, fight for a couple seconds, and he gets tired and leaves and goes back to my custom character, that would have been fine. It just looks so...
The only problem I have with that, excuse me, the only problem that I have with like it being a tag system, like Ram here is saying, what if you're on low health and you soul change and you tag out, Goku comes in and you still lose, and then it's just KO, your character just never came back and you just lost? It kind of won't be like your character lost, it'd just be like Goku just lost. I don't know, they'd have to do a lot of shit to like make that work for me. In ideology, it sounds pretty good, but they have to do a lot, bro. They have to do a lot to make that like actually function for me. Like make it make sense in Xenoverse.
No. It's like a magical girl transformation, you know, Rebrienne! Like, I just, Soul Change. I want to play it myself and see how it is. For all you know, it ends up being one of the coolest features of all time, but for now, it just looks stupid. Primary concern is, by the way, there's a lot. Most of these are literally talking about, I wish that there's no timer on transformations, so I agree. Look, if anything transformation related has a timer on it, I want that to be a way to remove the timer. I agree. We don't want, again, Bandai, we don't want a clock showing up next to our name when we transform.
So they said either completing an in-game quest, reaching max level, or making a wish to Super Shenron to take your like to remove the timer on your awoken skill. I like that. Making a wish to Super Shenron. I fucks with that.
We don't want that. So personally, I do think that the game looks a bit lower quality than I expected. This should be realistically the most expensive anime IP game ever. I agree. But the cores of the hoodie are floating and the hub looks really empty. I mean, I don't want to judge this yet because it's super early. But yeah, it does need to look a lot better, especially considering the fact that Xenoverse as a series sold like, what, 15 million copies or something like that. Like, again, there's no reason why this should look a bit of a downgrade compared to the previous games. I get it, you're not going to always make a game like Sparking or Fighters as far as how pretty it looks. But like, it should be up there. For a game like Xenoverse and how much money it made and how much DLC they pumped into the game in the past decade, it should look a lot better. Other than that, the game seems a little less snappy with animations. This is, I think, caused a lot of people to say that the game looks like Kakarot. The thing about Kakarot looked like a slower, more bare bones version of Xenoverse. So what I don't like is when
a simplistic Xenoverse. That's literally what Kakarot looks like, bro.
People say, oh, it looks like Kakarot. Like, Kakarot looked like Xenoverse! Except for they dumbed it out even more, where you just press one button, circle, 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 circle. Like, literally. But I will say this, a lot of what looks like Kakarot is all the different numbers showing up on the screen. Like when we see the character shoot the Kamehameha at a bunch of, fodder characters, and they all get eliminated, you see a bunch of damage popping on the screen. That looked like an RPG attack. You know, I see the elements of Kakarot because of things like that. Because you guys gotta remember that Xenoverse was the OG RPG. Xenoverse was the original Dragon Ball RPG, and then Kakarot came out. But a lot of elements of these games in the past decades were literally taken out of Xenoverse. Like, it's the other way around, but I get it. And to some extent, I do agree. There's some things, like I said, when they did the Kamehameha and a bunch of numbers popped up, it looked cool.
That's why I'm hoping we can we can adjust what we want to see, like, from the HUD, basically. I'm really hoping they do that, because I don't want to see all that shit, bro. I don't. That's a criticism that I have. The Awoken Skill Timer and the HUD, bro. I have a genuine problem with those.
Cool, but we don't always want to see that. But also, that might only be limited to the PQs. It's like, if I'm doing a 1v1, I'm not going to see a billion numbers pop up. At least I don't think, unless it's like damage. Oh, that's a good concern now to think about it. If I'm doing a 1v1 and I do a Kamehameha, and I see a bunch of numbers popping up for the damage that it's doing, that might look corny. Hey, you know what's cool? With crossplay being a thing and PC, modding that right out of the game. But that should not be a band-aid for the solution, honestly. I want to see it myself. Again, a lot of this video is going to be until I see it myself. I don't want to like harshly prejudge, if that makes sense. I don't care about transformation this time as long as it makes sense. Again, the only way I can see it make sense is if your stamina hits 0 and then you get too tired, you detransform. They do that in a lot of Dragon Ball games. But again,
or if you can, like, you know what I'm saying, upgrade the timer, or as one of the people from his channel pointed out, if you make it to the end game, you can like somehow make a wish to Shenron, you know what I'm saying, keep your awoken skill like permanent. There's some like leveling system to the game to where after some point it just gets permanent. Then I'd be cool with that. That would work for me.
For the love of God, for like the millionth time in this video, do not put a clock next to my face when I go Super Saiyan. I don't want to see a clock. Yo, bro, now I'm like
You may be seeing that clock, bro.
worried. I've seen so many concerns about this. I'm gonna be worried when we see the first gameplay and we see that clock. It's like, what are we doing? I feel like I gotta mentally prepare if that day comes. I hope that doesn't happen, but like, ooh, finally. You know what's funny? I've scrolled a good amount, and this is the first time I've seen this. A concern I have in regards to the game is always will be the netcode. During the gameplay show, we can easily see that this is a single player playthrough, so smooth gameplay at the moment is given. While it did have leaked to have cross-platform gaming, well, it's a goal, is what they said, was going to be available. That gives no determination as to netcode quality once we go online. Hopefully, there'll be a few network tests for the game in the foreseeable future and game during development. I agree. I do think with a game like this, they should definitely do like a beta.
100%. 100%. A beta, bro. We need that shit, bro. Because I don't want the same netcode that we had in fucking Xenoverse 2, bro. I don't even want a little bit better netcode. I need horizons better than what the fuck we was dealing with in Xenoverse 2, bro. Because that shit is damn near unplayable at times, bro.
This is one of those games where there's a lot of people excited for it. You know, the Xenoverse fandom is huge. And any moment where there's a possibility that you're going to piss off a lot of people that play this is not a good thing. They 100% should do a beta test. They should do a beta test to see how smooth online it's, especially since they built the game from the ground up. It's completely a new engine and everything. So I do hope we get that. And again, that's my number one concern since the first time we seen a trailer in January. I was like, yo, the netcode has got to be clean. If the netcode ain't clean, oof. Like Xenoverse, don't get me wrong. Xenoverse definitely had those fights where if you had a great connection, like let's say you and someone else were like 4 bars, it was immaculate. It was great. There's still some false hit confirms here and there that cause you to lose every now and then.
Yeah, that shit was never immaculate, bro. Like even if the bar said it was good, bro, I said like 3-4 bar connection, it'd still be a good bit of bogus shit happening, bro. Like it'd be tolerable for sure, but not immaculate, bro.
But for the most part, it was bearable. But once you got those fights that stopped that dropped to like 2 bars, or worse ones, 1 bar, so you saw people just becoming hit all over the screen, like literally the character head just time skipping across the map. That was unbearable. It was the point where I had a breaking point like 6 years ago where I was like, I'm done with this game.
I think he rage quit. He rage quit against Syriax 2 on one video. That shit was hilarious, bro.
And that's when I became a lot more casual on the game, you know, doing stuff like the raids and things like that, where it's fun videos. But as far as taking the game serious, I stopped taking that game serious years ago because of it. It was unplayable. Never forget the infamous, it's on the screen. I reference this all the time. This is what the game at some point was with Xenoverse 2, where you're just punching, basically, you're fighting demons. You're fighting demons and then the other player as well. And then next thing you know, you get snuck. You don't even see the attack because they're in front of you, but they're not actually in front of you on their game.
And grab-based attacks are gonna hit you no matter fucking what in this situation. If you did a grab move there, like eventually the damage would have registered, bro. And it's so stupid, bro. It's so stupid.
Something, it's just like the desync was,
which is why moves like God Fist and Jump Spike are so broken in this game anyway. That's one of my main gripes with the game at this moment in time anyway, bro. Handy Cannon's gonna hit you, and Jump Spike's gonna hit you, and God Fist is gonna hit. Any grab-based move is gonna fuck you up in this game in the terrible netcode. So we need better from Xenoverse 3. We need better. Like, the netcode in Xenoverse is a fucking 2. In Xenoverse 2 is a fucking 2. We need an 8. We need an 8 from 3, bro. Like, we need a big, significant jump.
Yeah, I gotta make sure that doesn't come back. It's too early for this type of video. We need more information, more importantly, more context. People have been way too quick to assume off of one gameplay video where bare minimum mechanics were shown. Until we get PvP showcase or a skill showcase, I'm not sure if there's much merit into dissecting. I 1,000,000% agree. The sole reason why I want to do this video is to also kind of cut down on a lot of the bad misinformation. I mean, as you can see, there's people who think that there's no cast characters in this game. There's some people that think, you know, X, Y, and Z. I mean, I get why a lot of these conversations come up off of like seeing a 2-minute gameplay, but at the same time, it's like there's a lot of like just outright like, you think that's gonna happen? I mean, I hope not. That's how we're doing this. You know, obviously, once we get more information, I'm gonna try to cover as much as possible with the game, but also don't want people just assuming. I mean, when the first trailer came out, people were saying they removed custom characters. That's crazy, bro. The amount of times I have to read comments, tweets, all that stuff talking about they removed custom characters. I'm like, you're wildin'. In what universe do you think the game that's all about creating a character took out that function? Like, what do you mean? And now people are doing the opposite. Now people are saying that they're removing cast characters because they saw soul.
Stupidity, bro.
change. That's why I want to do a video like this, is so we can alleviate some of like the less likely scenarios while focusing more on the possible scenarios that could be bad or good, and then go from there. But again, once we get more, you better believe we'll cover it. For example, because of the soul change mechanic being on a timer, people are now assuming transformation. That's what I'm saying. It's like people are seeing X, Y, and Z and think immediately.
I did read somewhere that transformations are going to be like timed. Big rip on that, bro. But I think I already dropped a video on that, though.
But again, it's like, we don't also know. You never know. Bandai might just be like, yeah, we put a timer on it. It makes sense. It's like, oh, what? So, yeah, I mean, again, take with a grain of salt. Everything that you see online, nothing is confirmed until it's confirmed. And what that means is, if you see one video here and there saying X, Y, and Z, but it's only that video or that tweet or whatever, that's a speculation. But once you start seeing confirmed, it was in V-Jump, and now we're all covering it, there's a billion videos being uploaded, that's how you know something was actually confirmed. But if you just see, like, you know, one or two people speculating on Reddit or Twitter or YouTube, whatever, and it's just them, it's like, there's no way that something as big as that news will be covered by like one person or everybody else, if that makes sense. So basically what I'm trying to say is if the timer thing becomes a thing with transformations, you will see it on every single channel. Everybody will be talking about that. You're not gonna see it just on like one random tweet or one random forum post or whatever. It's gonna be everywhere. Just kind of keep that in mind when you see like these speculations pop up as they pop up. Nerfing other race transformations, to this day I find it stupid that they nerfed Golden Form and buffed Super Saiyan Blue. Bro, you are preaching to the choir. When they made the nerf to Golden Form, maybe it's just because I played Golden Frieza as my custom character. I thought it was dumb, but like the fact that they had nerfed that, because the Frieza race was so bad in the game, you know, there's some broken aspects that every race had, but like Frieza race didn't have anything. So they took that away. I'm like, why? To this day, I have no clue why they did that. It's like, it's not Frieza race characters having one little thing over like Saiyans and Earthlings. They're like, no. Too much fun. Take that away. But that's also just a Xenoverse 2 thing. That's not really concerned with Xenoverse 3, unless that's going to come back in Xenoverse 3, in which case, ayo, just balance everything is what I'm trying to say. Balance everything so one race is not more broken over the next. Because if one race specifically is broken, that's what everybody's going to play. And I don't want that to be the main thing you see in the game. The graphics, man, Sparkles. I talked about this. I agree. Not to knock Xenoverse by any way. I mean, I guess to some way I am knocking it. It looks better than 2, don't get me wrong. It's a massive improvement from the old up characters we saw in 2016. But man, when you compare that to Sparking Zero, it's like, ooh, I mean, if the gameplay's fine, I don't give a shit. I'll be honest with you. If I pick this game up,
I don't think we need Sparking Zero graphics on Xenoverse 3 for Xenoverse 3 to be peak. You know what I'm saying? Like, the graphics are good, but Sparking Zero, bro, that game is beautiful. I will say that game is like absolutely like chef's kiss visually. But it has so many other problems, bro. If Xenoverse 3 doesn't have those problems, which I doubt that it will, I'd rather play Xenoverse 3. See,
it's got some of the most fun PvP action I've ever seen in a Dragon Ball game. I don't care how it looks. I mean, I care how it looks, but I'm gonna be okay with how this looks, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Because end of the day, all that matters is the game fun? And does it look somewhat good? I mean,
yeah, like it looks good enough. That's basically what he's trying to say in like a terrible way. He said, "I don't care how it looks." I'm like, yeah, slow down, bro. See what people do when they just want to say something to fuel their point. They'll take that one clip of Rhyme saying, "I don't care how it looks," and be like, "Rhymestyle doesn't care how the fucking game looks. He's just gonna endlessly glaze it." You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful about that, bro. I know what you meant, and you know what I'm saying. People with a brain understood what you meant, but other people would be like, you know what I'm saying, they'll take that little clip and make an entire video out of it, bro.
Is PvE content will remain the same. Farm PQs isn't as fun. Bro, I can tell you right now, when I met with Hirano-san like 10 years ago for Xenoverse 2, this is like in 2016, 2017, one of the first things I told him, I was like, yo, your RNG's ass. Your RNG. I have literally farmed some of these attacks for hours, for like multiple days in the week and not gotten them. For the love of God, make that a lot better. And I'm hoping.
Yeah, that shit is absolutely dog shit, bro. I even put the Piccolo Super Soul on sometimes. That helps with item drops, and I still don't get the shit, bro. Sometimes, dude, deadass, I swear to you, bro. I think I fell asleep on a PQ one day, bro. I fell asleep during the dialogue, bro. I woke up and my fucking game was turned off because I got my shit on rest mode. If I don't touch the controller or touch the game, the shit goes on rest. I woke up, my fucking headphones were around my goddamn neck, bro, and my game was in rest mode. I was like, bro, what the fuck? And I booted my shit back up, and the PQ was still there, bro. It had the fail thing on the PQ as they beat the fuck out of me. Like, dude, that
Bing. Especially with the cooldown thing not being a thing. Now you can't like spam your way through parallel quests. Whereas it's the only place where I see spamming moves is like valid in Xenoverse. I don't want to farm PQs with a cooldown to not get the move. So I hope that they actually like implement a system that says if you do X, Y, and Z, you get this drop. Or if you get
a good enough grade on the PQ, then you'll automatically get everything the PQ has to offer. I'll be cool with that.
At a certain rank, you get this drop. Because I'm gonna be real, farming parallel quests was not fun. Playing parallel quests with the homies just to like, you know, kick the shit was enjoyable to some extent. But you know what wasn't fun? Playing the same quest over and over again. These 10-minute ass missions to not get Kamehameha, to not get Goku's shoes, to not get X, Y, and Z. It's like, I don't want that to come back. I don't. And I know some people like that. Sure, that's on you. But I do not like that shit. Farming PQs to not get the drop and play it over and over and over and over again was not fun. And then usually by the time I did get the move, I didn't even want to play it anymore. I would put the game down. So I hope that definitely has a major improvement in this next game. Really don't want soul mode or whatever it's called to be a required mechanic or have movesets tied to it. If it replaces transformations, performance not cool. Again, I think it's options. You know, as I mentioned, even with the ultimates in the game, I do think they're going to give us more options to play because at this point, Bandai and also the developers of Xenoverse as a series, they know what we want. As much ways to play with our character, the more ways to play with a character, the better. You don't want to go backwards on that. So I do think that we'll have a lot of freedom when it comes down to the super sweet equip, the ultimates, the outfits, and hopefully the customization itself. Also, character creation that I need, and I mean need to be improved for the previous game is no copy and paste character creator. Nope, need more hairstyles, faces. Oh yeah, I agree, and no wigs. I mean, you know how I feel about wigs. Wigs was just corny in the game. Everybody here cosplay Goku, you're not Goku, bro. You're not Goku. You're Goku from Temu, whatever it's called, Temu. But yeah, I do agree. I think if they make the characters more unique, it's gonna be a lot better. I don't want them to go backwards. For love of God, I want to see differentiation between Earthlings and Saiyans, because a lot of times they use the same like stuff in Xenoverse 2, where it's like I can't tell if you're an Earthling or a Saiyan until I see the stance. You know, until I see the square triangle combo or the crazy back hits that Saiyans had. I definitely hope that they have more uniqueness for every single race. Lots of rumors to Super Saiyan. Where did this rumor start? I mean, I get we probably saw the soul change thing. Yeah, a lot of rumors of Super Saiyan being on a number time limit, like a spirit swap and change thingy. Oh, because Breakers had it, didn't it? Breakers operate like that, I see. I mean, even this I don't like. I don't want to see a timer on my transformation, and then it's like, oh yeah, you can get better. I mean, I get it canonically. You know, the first time I transformed, didn't know I really use it. And yo, what if we're about to see a timer and a transformation in probably like the next gameplay? We're all gonna freak out, be upset, only to find out that's temporary in the game in the beginning, and you remove the timer by mastering it by training with your mentor.
So that's kind of what I've been saying. That's kind of what I've been saying. But it's almost as if I know ball. It's almost as if I know ball.
If that happens, sure, because at the end of the day, end game, we're removing the timer in a cool, unique way, I guess. But again, for love of God, in end game, if there's a timer, we don't want that shit. One concern is, again, there's a lot of people that are assuming this. They're not removing cast characters. You have to understand, this is why I'm confident about them not removing cast characters. They spent 10 years selling us cast characters. Bro, they're not going to do that. They're not. The only concern I have is how many of those characters we just paid for in Xenoverse 2 will be available in the next game. Again, I'm hoping we get majority of them, if not all of them. But if we don't, I get why, because they have to rebuild every character from the ground up. But again, you guys had 8 years. You had 8 years to give us these characters we just paid for. But again, I do not want to pay for Vados again, for Champa again, for insert character that came out 10 years ago again. If you do something cool, unique, different, sure. If you do DLC for like the manga characters with Dragon Ball Super Comeback, sure, I will buy those characters. I'm not buying Vados and Champa and characters like that. Again, that will be corny. Also, honestly, a scam, because we just paid for that. Again, you know how much money we paid for Xenoverse in the last 10 years? A lot. I don't pay for that again. All right, we're gonna end it right here. I don't want to refresh, because I refresh, there'll be more stuff I want to read. Apparently, Key and Stamina are tied together in Xenoverse 3. Again, I see the concern. This is probably one of the most valid concerns for the cooldown meter, where, you know, you want to actually spam, especially when you're farming, you want to spam it against the bots and the raids, sure. But at the same time, I do think that it probably is going to function a lot better than we think. And again, if my theory is correct, where the key attribute will cause lower cooldowns, then it's fine. Because at that point, you're still going to have like the same amount of time in between attacks. Because think about it, in Xenoverse 2, let's say you have like 4 bars. That's enough to do 4 attacks, or 2 attacks to use 2 bars, you know? And then you have to charge. That same amount of time it goes to charging to do the next attack is gonna be equal to basically the cooldown come back. That's just how I'm seeing it. And again, if my theory is correct, where more key attributes being put in is gonna make the stamina go faster, then sure. And again, if you look at the soul change when they become Trunks, when they transform into Trunks, briefly for those 40 seconds, cooldown time was a lot faster. That burning attack was like 2 seconds.
Cooldown time was a lot faster, and they got more bars of key.
Like 1 second. It was like, bang.
Or stamina, whatever you want to call it. I do think it's key and stamina, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all think this, the bar is down there, that you got more of it while you were in soul change than if you were in base form.
Burning attack, burning attack. So I feel like it won't be as bad as we think. But also, I don't know. For all you know, it might, and I hope that's not the case. But yeah, I'm gonna end it right here. So in the comments of this video, anything that we didn't cover.
Alright, yeah, dude, we
feel free.
Made, like, some really good ass points, bruh. I see he was a little bit more on the skeptical side of we do have some problems in the game, but you know what I'm saying, we have to wait and see further if it's really a thing worth noting at this point, because it could be fixed, or some of the things that we're not sure that's in the game, you know what I'm saying, we gotta wait to see if they're in the game or not in the game. Basically the same shit that I've been saying, the same shit that the Xenoverse 2, the Xenoverse 3 supporters are actually saying, bro. Like, we're not glazing, we're just saying, bro, you have to wait and see. You know what I'm saying, I appreciate the honesty, and I appreciate him going through his comment section like this and saying his POV, you know what I'm saying, how he feels about such, because once again, he played the game a lot, you know what I'm saying, fellow content creator. So he put a lot of time into this game. So, you know what I'm saying, it's nice to see people with a bunch of time under their belt talk about how they feel about what they saw, because, you know what I'm saying, it's just a different feeling when you're a content creator, bro, because you play the game a lot. You look for different aspects of the game, and you know what I'm saying, how are you going to use this, how does that work, what is, you know what I'm saying, you look at the game differently than somebody just gonna play the game, mash, do this, and then just drop it. You know what I'm saying, you dedicate a lot more to the game. Making videos, you can go back and edit and see some shit that you didn't catch full time, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, W video from one of the GOATs, Rhymestyle, bruh. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this video. Anything I said, he said, you know what I'm saying, anything y'all agree with, disagree with, let me know down in the comment section below. Y'all enjoyed the video, please be sure to like the video, hype the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.
Cause I know I'm too grounded. He doesn't know, but I tell him to count it. Well, I surmounted the two, but he found it. We spend again and again, he surrounded. He be the broke niggas out there attention. Real niggas itching to busted you bitches, so fuck all the mentions. Feminists, they got extensions. I'm young and I'm thugging, I run it. It's YG and Joker and joking and YG. Feeling like days, though, bet they won't try me. Stuck on my waist, that's what a 5